So let's look a little bit more specifically at the 3D coordinate system. Let's think about how we might find equations of simple planes. Later in the semester, we'll find equations of any plane in space, but for right now, just some simple planes will include the coordinate planes. So if we think about the xy plane, the xy plane is the plane that kind of sits on the floor of our coordinate system. Right? And what's true about every single point on the xy plane is that its z-coordinate is 0. The way that we describe objects in mathematics is that we think about what's true all of the time about that object. And so any point on the plane, on the xy plane, has a z value of 0 because we don't go up or down at all. And so we can write then that the equation for the xy plane in R3, and R3 just means in space, is that z equals 0. That's it, because all of the points on the xy plane have a 0 z coordinate. So similarly, we can describe the other two coordinate planes, thinking about what's true about all of the points on those planes. For example, the yz plane, right? This is kind of against the wall right there. The yz plane, every point on the yz plane never goes forward or backward. It has no x-coordinate, right? We never move to the front or to the back. If you think of the x-axis is coming out of the paper or back away from the paper, any point on the exactly on the yz plane has no x-coordinate. So we can write the equation for the yz plane as x equals 0 because that's true for every point on the yz plane. And then finally, we can do the same for the xz plane. Any point on the xz plane, that's this plane over here, any point on the xz plane has no y-coordinate. So an equation for the xz plane then would just be y is always 0 because every single point on that plane has a 0 coordinate for y, 0y. Okay, if, for example, we have a plane that's, I don't know, parallel to the yz plane. Let's suppose that I'm out here at x equals 4, and I have a plane that is parallel to the yz plane. So I'm just doing a quick sketch of a portion of this plane. Here's the plane. We've come out of the page 4 units, and this is parallel to the yz plane. Well, every point on this plane, any point on this plane will have, I don't know, some x, some y, and some z value, but its x-coordinate will always be the same. That is the thing that makes every single point here that all the points on this plane have in common, right? The x-coordinate of every single point on this plane is 4. And so the equation of this plane will just be x equals 4. So when we have the coordinate planes themselves, or planes that are parallel to any of the coordinate planes, their equations are very straightforward. Either, we just specify it by saying what's true about every single point on that plane. So let's look at a quick example. Now let's suppose that we want to find the equation of a plane parallel to the xz plane that passes through the point 2, -3, 7. All right, so I'm going to go back to the drawing at the top. And this time we want, so the point 2 is here. 2 is x, -3 is y, and 7 is z. 4, 5, 6, 7. So we want a plane that passes through here, parallel to the xz plane. So that means it's back here somewhere, and it's parallel to the xz plane, parallel to this kind of side wall. There it is. And passes through, that point is on the plane. Well, every point on this plane, x and z can be anything, but they always have the same y value. The y value is that we've pushed this back 3 units along y, right? 1, 2, 3. Every single point on this plane has been moved 3 units back, and that's constant. Then we let x vary and we let z vary, and that's going to make it parallel to the xz plane. So all we need to do here is write down what's common for all the points on that plane, and that's going to be that y is always -3. Because every point on that plane, the x and z will vary, but y will stay fixed, and so we describe the plane using the equation y equals -3. So those are just some simple planes in space that either the coordinate planes themselves or planes parallel to the coordinate planes can be written very simply by just specifying the one thing that stays common among all the points on that plane. All right, the second idea in this video is how do we find the distance between 2 points in space? So this is going to be important when we think about magnitude, for example, of vectors in space, which we haven't talked about yet. Because distance gives us length between 2 points. So that's what we want to find in this part of the video. And just to make things a little bit easier, I'm positioning one point at the origin in space. So P1 has coordinates 0, 0, 0, and P2 in general coordinates x, y, z. And we want to find the distance from P1 to P2. So I want to know what is this length in space. And so to do that, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to project P2 down to the xy plane. So I'm going to draw a perpendicular from P sub 2 down to the xy plane, and I'm going to call this point here P2 with a little prime, the projection of P2 down onto the xy plane. So the coordinates of this point, well, we'll have the same x and y, but because now it's on the xy plane, z will be 0. So that I drew a perpendicular from P sub 2 down to the xy plane. So if I, for example, sketch this triangle here, this is a right triangle because this is a right angle where my projection P2 prime lies right below P sub 2. Okay, so let's pay some attention to what's going on the xy plane. Well, first, this distance here, from here to here, that is just z, right? That's going from 0 all the way to the z coordinate, whatever that may be, that's just going to be z. Now, on the xy plane, I can form a right triangle here. So I can do this and say, all right, here's a right triangle. And this distance from here to here is the x-coordinate of point P sub 2. So that's just x. And the distance from here to here, that's going to be y, because we're just on the xy plane and we have a right triangle. So my strategy for finding, this is what we want, right? Let's call this D. My strategy for finding D will be to find first this length. I'm going to call it D sub 1 first. And then I'm going to use the right triangle that has length D1, height, one leg is D1, height Z, and hypotenuse D. I'm going to use that right triangle in the Pythagorean theorem to find D. But first I have to figure out, well, what is D1? D sub 1 is on the xy plane, and we have a right triangle down on the xy plane that can help us find D sub 1. So let's do that first. So D sub 1 squared, using the Pythagorean theorem in this right triangle on the xy plane, we get that D1 squared equals x squared plus y squared, the length of our two legs of the right triangle on the xy plane. So D sub 1 is just the square root of x squared plus y squared. Now, I'm also going to use the Pythagorean theorem on this right triangle, whose base is D sub 1, height is z, and hypotenuse is d, and d is what I want to find because d is the distance between those 2 points. So applying the Pythagorean theorem there, we're going to say, well, d squared, the hypotenuse squared, will be d sub 1 squared, the base squared, plus z squared, right? So the sum of the two legs, each one squared, will equal to the hypotenuse squared. But we know that d sub 1 squared, we found that using x and y on the xy plane. So we can substitute d1 squared, we know, is x squared plus y squared. So we substitute for d1 squared, x squared plus y squared, and then we have z squared, right? So this is d1 squared. And now, to find d, which is what I wanted, the distance between the 2 points, we're going to take the square root of both sides, and we get x squared plus y squared plus z squared. Now, this was a specific case where one of the points, p sub 1, was the origin, right? So this is p1 was the point 0, 0, 0. And I did that just because it would be easier for me to sketch the diagram. But in general, the distance between 2 points, let's say that if P1 has coordinates x sub 1, y sub 1, z sub 1 instead of 0, 0, 0, and P sub 2 has coordinates x sub 2, y sub 2, and z sub 2, then the distance from P1 to P2 will be the square root. This time, instead of doing x squared plus y squared plus z squared, we're going to find the difference between the corresponding coordinates. So it's going to be x sub 2 minus x1 squared. I didn't need to do that above because one of the points was 0, 0, 0. Plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Oops. y1 squared. And then plus z sub 2 minus z sub 1 squared. And this is the distance between 2 points in space in general. And this will be really useful when we talk about the magnitude of vectors in space and when we derive the equation of a sphere.